what happens. Okay, we're recording.
Oops, I go backwards. Ah, how did I go back?
What did I do? Okay, let's try again. Okay. There we go. Share and group. Okay. Looks like it's working. Okay, I'm gonna put a title. Okay, looks like it's okay. So we're gonna do it. Okay, now let me say we're gonna go live. What nursing do you do?
I am technically a cardiac surgery nurse practitioner.
Oh.
So I would take care of like pre-op, post-op cardiac surgery patients. But now I'm just teaching. So I'm just teaching nursing students.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so I just do that once a week, and then I stay at home with the kids the rest of the week.
Well, that's nice that you can do that.
Yeah, I like how nursing is super flexible. So
yeah, it seems like it. It doesn't expose, teaching doesn't expose you to things, right? Is it all on Zoom?
No, I actually have to go into the hospital. So I'm a
Oh,
clinical instructor. So I go in with them, which I think I actually appreciate more because I kind of liken it to like mentoring nursing students.
uh-huh.
So it's just a lot easier to mentor them when I can see them face to face, when I can see how they're doing in the clinical setting.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I make it my goal. I try to figure out like where their weaknesses are and try to like bring them up to a level where I think they should be at.
Mm-hmm.
And
How big is your class?
it's usually between 10 to 12 students.
Okay.
So it's pretty manageable, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Any more than that, I can feel the difference.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a nice group, like a small group.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. I guess I'm going to let these people in and then I will do the stream. Good morning.
Hi.
Hi.
Good morning.
I'm Julie.
Hi,
Julie.
Last week we were able to change your name, but I'm not Allison, so I don't know how to do that.
I don't know how to do it either.
Do you know how to do it, Tiffany? How to change her name on the where it says Samuel's iPad?
Not sure.
Hi, Jackie.
Jackie's my aunt.
Oh, okay, that's great. She was on really early, and I was like, "Oh, who is it? I hope it's not a mistake." That's great. I'm glad she was able to make it. Okay, so let me stream us. We're going to be streaming live on the customer page. So I have it set up. Oh my goodness. Okay, here we go. I think more people are going to watch on the page. Okay. Are we live? Let me see here.
Still 3 minutes, so it's still early.
Okay, let's see. Yes, we're on. Okay. Okay. There we go. All right. Well, Julie, what did you get a lot of information from last week? Trying to
Let me
remember.
see
Oh,
if
we
I
did
can
the
find-
non-toxic cleaning.
Oh, yeah, I did get a lot of information. Yeah, I gotta find my notes to write to see what I wrote down, but that was very interesting. And I didn't know that you can clean with the oils.
Oh,
I
yeah.
Yeah, I was telling my husband about that too, and he found it very interesting, all the things that you could do with the oils. I'm new, so I've been in
Mhm.
it for about 2 weeks now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I'm so thankful.
Yeah. I had never really done dishwasher tabs. So I'm thinking about trying that and dishwasher soap. And do you do that, Tiffany?
I have tried making my own before, but I think, like, kind of when you switch over to a more natural thing, sometimes you need like a detox period.
Yeah.
So I think if you're switching over for your dishwasher, you might want to add like some extra citric acid just to clean out all the gunk
Oh, yeah.
from previous. Because I
Yeah.
think if you don't do it, then all like the minerals and stuff just get let out and just make all your dishes really cloudy, and then you think it doesn't work.
Mm.
But I think you just needed to really just clean out the dishwasher first.
Oh, that's a good tip. Citric acid.
Mhm. Or you
Does,
can use vinegar, but I think the citric acid doesn't smell as bad as vinegar.
what would adding more entail, like double it or?
Or you know how you have the pre-wash? Maybe you just add, I don't know, a tablespoon pre-wash or something.
Okay. Okay. Good tip. Good tip. Hi, Nora.
Hi, Susie.
Hi. And I saw Una and Kenny and a couple people hopping in. Welcome, everybody. You're 1 minute early. You're very prompt. We're excited about today. We have an amazing teacher. I'm so excited. I don't know much about Symphony of the Cells. I haven't been to a training yet. But I think I signed up for one, and then we had to cancel it because of the pandemic. So I haven't been yet. And but I've always wanted to go. Have you been to a training, Tiffany?
Yes.
Oh, so
So I
you've
went
seen
to
Boyd.
one.
Everyone says he's amazing.
Oh, he is. He's like mind-blowing, kind of.
Yeah, so he has been with doTERRA forever, and he's just used the Symphony of the Cells technique on so many different people with so many ailments, and he's had amazing results. And so he is the original teacher of this protocol, and we learn from him, and so we're trying to spread the knowledge. And I think there's a free basic training online.
Yeah,
Is that right?
there's a free one and then there's like a paid one, but it's still like not as expansive as a real in-person one.
Yeah.
But the free
Yeah.
one is a good intro. I think he goes over just, basic, but it's easy enough to just apply once you know what you're doing.
And I heard that he tells lots of stories in person. So
Yeah,
you
I
want to
think
be,
that's the key thing. Like when you hear him in person, he'll just
yeah.
tell all kinds of stories and like examples of how like this worked for this person and
Mhm.
that worked. And then whoever comes, they usually come to him with their question, and then he can answer the specific questions. And so it's really nice to see him live. I could listen to him all day. He's just one of those people.
Yeah,
Like,
I can't wait to go listen live. Hi, Cindy. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. And I want to welcome my friend Natalie, who jumped on too.
Oh, yeah. Hi, Natalie.
Come on, hi, doctor.
Oh, yeah. Welcome. You're going to love this. This is just a really amazing technique. And so I'm going to go ahead, and we are streaming live on the Facebook page on Customers Using and Loving. So hello, all you people out there, and feel free to ask your questions in the chat as we go, or you can ask. I'll try to monitor the Facebook page as well. Or you can just ask your questions as we go. Tiffany says it's fine to ask. It's really important that that you understand, and that if you have any questions, they get clarified. So you can save it to the end if you want, or you can go ahead and ask them as we go. Yeah, people excited for this for sure, for sure. Okay, we're gonna let Grace in. Okay, so Tiffany, I'll let get started. Introduce yourself, and Grace is here. Welcome. And okay, let's go.
Hi guys, my name is Tiffany. I'm a nurse practitioner. I'm a mom of two. I have a 1.5-year-old and a 3.5-year-old. I've been oiling for probably somewhere around 4 years. And so I would say that marks the start of my journey towards being more natural. So I think at every stage, I always think I hit a point where something kind of like opens up my mind, and then I feel like, oh my gosh, I knew nothing before this, and now I know everything. And then I hit another point, and when I learn more, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I knew nothing before this. What was I doing way back then? But yeah, so the reason why I really enjoy Symphony of the Cells is because that was one of the main junctures, I think, in my natural journey that really opened up my mind to just what it means to approach things naturally and holistically. I think before I was still thinking, because I'm a nurse practitioner by training, so automatically my mind always thinks, okay, I've got this symptom, then I do this. I've got this symptom, then I do this. But from the Symphony of the Cells, it just really kind of like blew open my narrow thinking to giving me a whole lot of other ways to approach how to deal with something. So let's see. So I think the first thing about Symphony of the Cells is like, what is Symphony of the Cells, right? I think the name is kind of, it throws you off a little bit. The symphony, just, you think of music, but has nothing to do with music. It's about, I think his thing is more harmony. So he has these 21 essential oil applications, and they're designed to create harmony within your body. And so the way he approaches things is not just with oils, but he really wants you to target like as many areas as he can. So you kind of address things from like multiple viewpoints, and then get the best results as possible. So he actually spends a lot of time talking about what you eat. So I was kind of sitting there in the seminar, and he was talking about this, I say, for probably maybe a good hour. And I didn't really understand why at the time. Everyone knows, like, you are what you eat. You hear this all the time. And I knew it, but then it didn't really strike me as like, this is ultra important to how I'm taking care of my health. I don't know why it didn't, but until I was sitting there and listening to him talk about it. So I think the way I used to approach my food is that, yes, I know that I need to eat things that are nutrient dense. I know I need to get rid of the processed things and things like that. But I felt more like food was like something that I looked forward to, that I really enjoyed. And so I realized that I was thinking more of food as like my therapy, as things that brought me joy, and not so much thinking about the nutritive value of it and what it was doing to my body. Yeah, anyway, so it just happened right around this time where it started to like hit me and really make sense to me. Because I heard also that 80% of your immune system is located in your digestive tract, and is somehow like it didn't connect with me how the food I'm eating going through my digestive system is actually playing a huge role in my health. So yeah, food is our fuel. So it really matters what kind of food that you're putting into your body. And then of course we go over toxicity. So it's not just the food that we're putting into our body, it's also what's going on the outside of our body. So all of us are using oil. So all of us are really interested in finding more natural solutions for things, trying to decrease the amount of toxic chemicals that we put on our bodies. And we put a lot of chemicals on our bodies. Not all of them are toxic, okay? So, but we do end up putting a lot of things on just with the cosmetics, with, you know, our hair, lotions and things like that. A lot of things go on the outside of our body, and then that gets absorbed into our skin, right? And then our body needs to process all these things that that we're putting on us and also into us. So with the diet and things like that, he focused more on sugars and processed foods. So I think that diet and nutrition is like a whole other class that we could go on for a very long time about. But so he very, I guess, quickly went through just sugar and how processed our American diet is. And he went through like in the 1950s, I think, or I don't know. He talked about when sugar, when processed like sugar became easily accessible to everyone. And then it just exponentially like rose in everyone's diet in America. And he kind of correlated that with incidence of disease and you know, obesity and skin issues and all kinds of things that he correlated. But I think for me, it started off with processed food and sugar, and I don't think I added a Terrazyme slide in here. I think I meant to, but so Boyd's thing is really Terrazyme. So he will say Terrazyme, throw Terrazyme at everything. And so I was thinking about it in relation to what he had mentioned before. And I'm like, why do we say Terrazyme for everything? And it has to do with our liver. So our liver is our main detoxification organ. And so for however long that we've lived, okay, our liver has been basically like the trash people, like taking up all the trash that we're eating, all the trash that is coming into our body through our skin, that we're breathing. It gets processed through the liver. So, and then the liver also has a lot of different functions. So it's not just detoxification, it plays a role in, you know, a lot of our body's processes. So our liver is like a super duper organ. It's really important for us to have our livers be healthy and functioning in order for us to be at optimal health, right? Let's say your house and you never took out the trash and you just got trash all over your house. It's just stinky everywhere, right? So one of the first things you want to do if you want to try to get rid of the stink is that you got to take out the trash.
Can you tell us a little bit about Terrazyme?
So I was getting to that too.
Oh,
So
okay.
Terrazyme are like digestive enzymes. So the enzymes help with our body's processes, and it also helps with digesting food. So part of what enzymes do, yeah, so it helps digest the food better. And then it also helps kind of like break down wastes, break down things so that our body can use them, but also it helps with the cleaning up of our body as well. And these digestive enzymes are plant-based. So the reason why we want to unprocess our food is because those digestive enzymes, or those enzymes in general, are present in food that was alive, right? Like fruits and vegetables that were alive. Those enzymes are at their highest when that fruit is like fresh, when that vegetable is fresh. The longer it takes for us to eat it once it's been picked, because once it's been picked, it's kind of like, you know, the umbilical cord has been cut. And so that's how much nutrient is in the fruit and vegetable. Once you cut it, you take it off, and then the timer starts. So little by little, it starts dying. And part of what dies is those enzymes. Those enzymes become inactivated. And yeah, so fresher is better, right? And even cooking our food actually kills enzymes, because the heat kills enzymes. So even cooking our food is a form of processing. So the Terrazyme, what it does is it helps bring back those enzymes that we might be lacking in our diet. And so if you take it with your meals, the enzymes help you digest your food better. And then if you can digest your food better, you can extract the nutrients better. And then if you take it on an empty stomach, those enzymes will help your liver. It just kind of like gives it a little push, speeds things along, so that your liver can just, you know, gather up everything that needs to be processed and then hopefully get it out. So if you read the label on the Terrazyme bottle, it says to take 1 to 3 per meal, right? So you can add 1 Terrazyme if your meal is pretty clean, like mostly fruits and vegetables, things that are easier to digest. If your meal is super heavy, like I wouldn't say like all you can eat Korean barbecue. Okay, I think that is probably when I feel at the absolute heaviest, or Vegas buffet. Okay, so I'd say that might be a 3 or 4 Terrazyme meal that you need extra help to process. And it actually works. Like I've taken it after like all you can eat Korean barbecue, and you know, you just feel like you have that rock in your stomach after you eat so much meat. But the Terrazyme really helps with that. So I can feel that it's like kind of breaking things up more, and I feel lighter. And I think recently I've been cleaning up my diet more. So I did this like no gluten, no soy, no corn, no sugar diet. And I can definitely feel a difference in my digestive system, in how bloated I don't feel anymore. Energy and sleep and everything just got so much better once you take care of your digestive system. So anyway, getting back to Symphony of the Cells, he mentions a Terrazyme, and then he goes into a little bit how our body just shows inflammation. And one of the first places that we show inflammation is through our skin. So any of the conditions that we have, like any of those listed, will show up as symptoms of some kind of inflammation that's going on inside our body. So if we want to address it, we can put oils on top, right, on our skin to help. But you also should be considering your diet and what you're putting into your body, and then how your digestive system is functioning, because that is really like the root cause of the inflammation. So, and we'll talk a little bit about it later, but he has a book of recommendations, and his recommendations are very like treat it from the inside out and the outside in and everything in between. Okay, so why Symphony of Cells and how it helps? So I think what makes his, I guess, approach a little bit different is that he layers individual oils in like the 21 different applications. So a lot of us use roller balls and we blend the oils in the roller ball, but he really enjoys just using individual oils one at a time. And he didn't go into it too deeply, but I think it's more because individual oils, the body responds to them differently, like one at a time. If you blend the oils, sometimes the oils respond to each other inside that blend. And sometimes, I guess he just likes one at a time so that you don't get that blending effect. So yeah, that's just his thing. And he also went through how important it is to really connect with people and touch, like the healing power of touch. So he really enjoys doing that. And then with the LLV, just going back to nutrition, the nutrition is, I guess, key, right, to having a healthy digestive system and then, you know, detoxifying and everything. So if you want to boost the quality of your diet, LLV is a really good source of whole fruits and vegetables, you know, blended into this multivitamin, antioxidant, and omega blend. I'd say it's just a really easy and simple way to like fortify your diet, especially if you find it hard to make all kinds of changes all at once. I'd say LLV is the easiest way to get in an extra 8 to 12 servings of vegetables per day. And then PB Assist is the probiotics. So another key part of our digestive system is how we digest and break apart all the food. So the probiotics are the bacteria inside of our gut that really help break down the food in our intestines. And yeah, it's just got different strains. So the PB Assist Plus are in the capsules. So those, I think they're dual encapsulated, right? So they're like 2-phase, and it's just definitely specialized for optimum delivery, because you want those probiotics to actually make it into your digestive system where it's supposed to work. So both the kids and the adult ones from doTERRA are specially encapsulated so that they make it into your intestines where they need to be. And they're different strains too. So adults should take both, and actually you can rotate so that you get a wide variety of probiotics into your gut. Okay. And then, so there's Symphony of Cells, but there's also AROMATOUCH technique. So Dr. Hill does the AROMATOUCH technique. How they're different is that, so with AROMATOUCH, it's like the same set of 8 oils done in a very specific way. And it's just to create overall wellness in the body. So there's different steps. There's like a method of it. With Boyd's technique, he has different lists of applications which are set for different ailments or protocols. And his are just kind of, it's more important to get the oils on your body than any particular method. So his applications are pretty quick. It doesn't really matter, like, you know, circle, clockwise, what, it doesn't really matter. Just get the oils on your body. So that was his thing. And I guess the AROMATOUCH technique can take a long time. But Symphony of Cells does not have to take a long time. There are different tips that I would do to help with that. Okay, let me just go back. So his protocols are in this book, and I think you have to get this particular book in order to get all 21 protocols. So these are proprietary, so I think he doesn't want us to post these all online, but these books are like, I think $13, and you get all 21 in there. And then it's a list. So it's a list of probably 10 to 12 oils. And you go down the line one at a time, usually down the back. Let's see. So for me, how I've made this easier for myself, like instead of having like a thing to prop open the book while I'm doing the applications, is I turned it into a little booklet that I have for myself. So like This one is the ID protocol, and I just listed all the oils in the ID protocol, and then it kind of fits in this little oil carrier that I have. So what I will do is I will put this here, and then I will line up the oils. You can do it however way you want. A lot of people have stands or something, but you can line up the oils one by one, and then that makes it really easy to go down the line. So if I'm setting it up, so setting it up is probably the most time consuming part if all your oils are all over the place. So I would find some kind of box or something where you can line them up one at a time, and then go from there. And then you don't really even need the list once you've lined it up. You just go down the line however you wanted to. So I do this for my kids. So since I've been doing it for my kids, I found it easier to do the roller balls. So they're already pre-diluted. I don't have to worry about if I've got, 1 drop or 4 drops that fall out on accident. So I do this for my kids, like if they're feeling like they're coming down with something, I'll just do the roller balls, and it just gets really easy. I sit my kids on my lap, and then I'll just pull up their shirt and then just go down the line and just roll and then rub it in, roll and then rub it in. And yeah, and then how I choose the protocol depends on like what symptoms or things that I'm trying to address at the time. So he has different ways. So you can sometimes opt for a protocol if you're trying to target something specific, or if you are just well and you want to maintain. He has this like 4 weeks to wellness where you go through all the protocols over a month, and you can do that. But I say most people try to choose a protocol based on like some specific thing that they're trying to treat. And then you kind of ask yourself these questions, and you can hopefully try to figure out like which system is something that you want to address. Like, let's say you've got, I don't know, like a digestive issue. Well, I guess that's pretty easy. Then you just use a digestive protocol. There's a digestive protocol. But I'd say something, I don't know, anyone have a condition that they'd like to see how they could try to treat with Symphony itself, and we can go over it?
Tiffany,
I
how
have-
about, oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. Oh, I was gonna say something.
Sure, Julie.
I have fibromyalgia, and I'm trying to figure out what all the oils I should be using. And I have diabetes also. All the things that you were saying, that when you were seeing that circle and all the things, I have joint pain, I have this, that, yeah.
So one of the things that he mentions that he may not mention, I don't know, somewhere, but he mentioned that if you don't know where to start with the digestive protocol. I know with fibromyalgia, you just got pain like all over the place.
Right.
And with the diabetes, it just it also causes a neuropathy, which can cause the pain. And then you've got, just nerve things all over the place. So it kind of depends. So if you wanted to start with digestive, you could start with that, or you could go with the inflammatory, and that helps with the pain. He does mention that you would want to start slow. So Julie, like you said, you're new to oils. So yeah, just start slow and then see how your body responds. So let's see.
So he has a book with all the different protocols in there.
Yeah, so you really kind of need 2 books. I'd say this one has all the applications in it. So all the 21 different applications in this book, right? And I think he sells them as a bundle as well. This book is kind of like, this one lists the conditions and then what you can do about it. So like for fibromyalgia, it says LLV, detoxification blend, which is endocrine, the polyphenol complex, which is a deep blue, the capsules, GI cleansing formula, which is like the GX Assist, probiotic defense formula, digestive enzyme, which is the Terrazyme, energy and stamina complex, which is the Vito2 Max, or Copaiba soft gels as directed. And then he recommends 2 to 3 drops of Melissa, thyme, and Copaiba in a capsule daily. So that's getting the oils in internally. And then perform the Symphony of the Cells inflammatory Qi and or C2 application 1 to 2 times weekly as needed. Apply 2 to 3 drops of massage blend, soothing blend, birch, wintergreen. Also try rosemary, turmeric, lemon, pink pepper, lemongrass, arbor vitae, tea tree, or Siberian fir. So he gives a lot of suggestions, and I think it can get really overwhelming, right? So I'd say start where you're comfortable, start
Okay.
with what you have, and then go from there. It's a lot if you're just, you're 2 weeks in and you're like, what do I do? I don't even have like all of this. What am I supposed to do? So
Tiffany, are those the only 2 books, the main 2 books that he has on there?
There is like a big workbook. It's like a 8x11 like workbook, but it kind of has like similar information as this, but maybe a little bit more. That one I think might be $25 for the big workbook. That's the one they gave us when we went to the convention thing. So I kind of like that one. I put all my notes in it. But if you're, just at home and you just want to know what to do, I'd say like this one definitely is like bare minimum. And then this one, if you want to be able to look up different conditions and what he suggests to do about it, then there's this one as well.
Doesn't the black one have the different conditions too?
The big black one, hold on, let me get it.
Yeah, so I just have the little black book. Sunday's put in the chat. Thank you for where you can get those books from his website, True Wellness. But in the little black book, I thought it lists like all the different things and which protocol goes with them. Doesn't it have that?
The black book does not. The black book is more like this, but with more explanation. And then, yeah, like all my notes and stuff that I took. So I think there's a little white book, a little one of this, and it just has less, but I'm kind of thinking like, well, if you're going to order it, then just get the big one.
Yeah.
It also comes with like a list of, I think, maybe this one has it. The substitution list. So if you don't have a certain oil, there's like a sub 1, sub 2, sub 3 that you can sub for it. Another thing for people who are new and starting out is that there are, I guess I didn't go over safety, but we can go back to that. There is, here's the books.
Oh, there they are. Okay.
There's intro 1 and intro 2. So intro 1 and 2 are the top 10 oils. So I say you can also start there. These, he is more free about giving out these applications. So intro 1 and intro 2 are, I think, okay to hand out. The other ones are proprietary, and he wants you to get the book for those. So intro 1 is, I would say I use this one more for like immunity. So I'll use this one for immunity. And then there's intro 2, which I'd say is more for like the physical structure. So like if we're having pain or something like that, then I do intro 2. But both of these have, they just utilize the top 10 oils. So I'd say that's a pretty good starting point.
Okay.
We can go back to this, but I guess we should go and do safety. So dilute, obviously. So when he's doing his demonstrations, he just puts like, he doesn't even count. He's just throwing oils on people, like 4 or 5. He's not counting. He's just talking and throwing oils on people. So the first oil in almost every single application is frankincense. I have my special SOC frankincense that I have made this one like super concentrated. It's probably almost all frankincense with a little bit of carrier oil in it. But frankincense is the first one, and frankincense makes every oil after it work harder. It's one of those enhancer oils. So frankincense is always the first one, and then carrier oil next. And usually, like, he'll just slap on a bunch of carrier oil. And then after that, it's just probably 1 to 2 drops if you are very old or very young, or if your skin is super sensitive. I would always start low. Starting low is good. 1 to 2 drops. And then his thing, he doesn't even count. He just kind of throws oil all over people. So it could be like 5, 6 drops per oil after that. But he's a pro, so we'll just let him do his thing. For you, for everyone starting out, I would say start off with like 1 or 2 drops, because 1 or 2 drops of each oil, you know, times 10 oils, that's like already 20 some drops. So I'd say if you are in any question whatsoever at all, always start low. And then if you find that you're okay after that, you can do your subsequent applications with more oil. And then I've done it on myself. Even done it on my husband, who's not really into oils, but I was more careful with, you know, how many drops I put on him, but he didn't really have any problems. But there are some people that he mentioned that were very, very sensitive. And so they might have been either detoxing, like a lot of things just like, came out onto the skin and they're detoxing, or their skin is just super sensitive. So just do less drops, more carrier oil, and then go from there. And if you need to, just take a break, I guess. And he recommends only doing 1 application every 3 or 4 days, also just to give your body a little bit of a break. And again, no oils in the eyes, nose, or ears. Where he has you put it on, it should be safe. So mostly when we're doing the demonstrations, he'll put it on the back. So he had everyone, you know, dress up in those massage things where it's like a robe, but open to the back. So he like starts at the bottom and moves upward in a circular motion, but he also said it's more important just to get the oils on you. So if you're like me, when I can't get my husband to put on or open, you know, 10, 12 bottles of oils and sit there and put on me. So I end up just doing it for myself. So what I would do is I would just, you know, take my roller or whatever, put the oil in my hand, start at my low back and just go up as high as I can, and then start in the middle and then go up as high as I can. And then you can smell it after you're done. And then if you want to, you can put it on your feet as well. I would probably only do it on my feet if I were like in bed and didn't have to walk around as much. I don't want so much oil all over my feet. But if you want to do that, and then you can put socks on and then you can walk around. But I probably end up doing most of my applications on myself because I'm the one that wants to do this for everyone else. So if I can wrangle my husband to do it, but I'd say self-application is probably what I end up doing the most. So this is his instructions, but there really isn't a wrong way to do it as long as you're getting the oils on your body.
Do you have them mostly in rollers?
So because I use this more for my kids, so I don't want to have to worry about it. It's also faster if I just open a roller ball and do this, because I only have them on my lap for, you know, as long as I have them on my lap.
Yeah.
So the roller balls are mostly for them. So I would probably just use just intro 1 on them. It has the top 10 because the top 10 are already in the touch rollers. So I keep the rollers mostly for them. So if I'm going to do it for me, then I would change it out. Like I have my, like in the individual oils in the middle. And so I would just line it up for me in the middle. My frankincense roller, that is one, my SOC frankincense roller. I would just use that for me or for them because the frankincense is not a hot oil. But the rest are, yeah, mostly for them. How often, how much depends. If you're generally healthy, you can do it 2 to 3 times a month or as needed. If you have a present condition, you might want to be more intense with it until things get better and then back off on it. The only exception I would say is for the infectious condition, and he would do it 1 to 2 times per day as needed. That's the infectious disease protocol. So that one is frankincense, oregano, thyme, on guard, AROMATOUCH, lemongrass, melaleuca, melissa, arbor vitae, and peppermint. Those are pretty stinky oils. I feel like, I mean, oregano and thyme are super powerhouse immune oils in and of themselves. But for me, I even think that once I put it on, I feel like the smell just dissipates whatever bugs or things that are all around me. So the ID one is super powerful. Let's see. I think we already went to 1 to 2 drops to start, and otherwise 4 to 6 drops if you're if you know that your skin is okay to take this many oils.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. I've had it done on me once, and well, not once, but and I was really shocked at how many drops of oil it is, because when you add it all up, it's like 20, 30 drops. I don't know, and my body can handle it, and you feel just amazing afterwards.
Yeah, the very first time I had my husband do it on me, I was just so like, I really kind of wasn't sure it was going to do anything, but I just felt so relaxed and I slept so well that night. I was like, wow, that was pretty amazing. And he also recommends that you do your applications at night. That way, if you do get sleepy, you can just go to sleep.
Yeah, my daughter loves it. She's just before bed putting them on. It just drifts right off.
Yeah. Okay. So then we went over these 2 books are the ones that I would recommend. You can get them from truewellness.com. I think you can also get them from Oil Life or some other ones, but on True Wellness, they have this spinning wheel where you can like spin to get a discount, and you will always get at least 10% off with the coupon. So I can recommend doing that. I also think Nora, is it Nora that had a question before that we didn't address?
Yeah, Tiffany, I was just wondering too, I do have the book, and let's talk about like the reflexology points, like on the feet and on the hands, and you're talking about how, you just do it down your back as much as you can. What do you think about doing those, like just like maybe on your hands instead of doing it on the back, or is there a better, I know you said you just do it wherever just to get the oils on, but is the back the first preference?
I think do what you can, right? If it's too hard to access your back or you need to be really quick, there are reflexology points all over your hands and all over your feet. So you can do that. Reflexology points, let's say if you're targeting maybe the reproductive system, that one I know is like around your inner ankle bones. So you might want to focus the oils on that. The back, like down your spinal column, holds all the nerves that innervate all the organs in all your body. So it comes down from your brain, and then all the nerves shoot out of your back. So I think that's the reason why he opts for the back, is because when you get the oils all over the back, you're actually getting them right to the nerve points that innervate every organ in every part of your body. It just comes out of your spine. So I think if for maybe maximum effectiveness, I'd say down the back is probably the best. It may not be as accessible, but if you can, um, I'd say put some effort in and try to get it on your back. But hands and feet are still good as well.
Great. Thanks, Tiff.
Mhm. There are trifolds, I think, for the intro 1 and intro 2 applications, which I can get to Susie and then Susie can get out to whoever else wants it. But these 2 applications I think are able to freely give. So we can always start with that too. Any questions?
Yeah, Kenny has a question. Can you see the chat?
My cursor has somehow disappeared.
Oh, so oregano and thyme are skin irritants if above a certain percentage. So if there are many oils and some of them are heavy hitters, we need to use more FCO to dilute them.
So I've done the ID application on my husband, and I actually put I wasn't thinking about it, and I actually put I think 4 drops of oregano and 4 drops of thyme on him, and he's kind of like a newbie with the oils, and for some reason it was okay for him. But I'd say if you have any question about it, just go for 1 drop. So he has oregano and thyme right after the carrier oil. So it's like frankincense, carrier oil, oregano, and thyme. And then he goes through the other ones. So I have a feeling he did that because those are the 2 pretty hot oils.
My daughter's really sensitive to oregano. So she really felt like it was burning when I put it on her. I just put a drop on her, but so I just put more carrot oil on top.
Yeah, or you could just, if you're too scared to go straight, just use the touch roller. And I think that's fine too. So oregano and thyme, they're super strong. Like you burn off a skin tag with oregano. It's that strong.
Okay. Do you have any other questions? You can unmute yourself and ask a question. I'm going to check on Facebook.
I'm just curious, for those who are newer here, with that protocol you set up for your kids, are all of those touch rollers that are available already from doTERRA, or did you make your own in some situations?
So for my kids, I wouldn't go too far into these specific applications, number 1, because they're 1 and 3 years old. How much could they have really built up? But I mean, for my kids, but I would probably stick to intro 1 and intro 2 for them. Intro 1 and intro 2 are just using the top 10. And so the top 10, I already had the touch rollers. Except for lemon. I think lemon I had to make one, but other than that, I already had the touch rollers for them. So I just do intro 1 and intro 2 for them. Also there's basic. So basic is the one that he actually meant for kids. So it's only 4 oils. It's frankincense, melaleuca, AROMATOUCH, and peppermint. And so I guess I made an AROMATOUCH roller. But I already had the frankincense touch, melaleuca touch, and peppermint touch. So I can use that one for them as well.
Okay, thank you. That's very helpful. Because for the new folks that are here, they may not know that doTERRA already has touch rollers available.
Yeah, I really like the touch rollers. I mean, I guess it's kind of like you can make it yourself at home, but I mean, it has a really pretty label on it. And then the rollers are just the best rollers out there. So you can make it yourself. I made my own AROMATOUCH roller. I have my own Melissa roller and my own lemon roller. But if you want to, you could just, buy them, and then you could just refill them as well. So I've done that as well.
If you were to make it for yourself, how many would you put? How many drops would you put?
Well, I probably wouldn't make the rollers just for myself, since you can just put the oil straight in your hand. And for myself, I'm usually not in a super huge rush to get it done quickly. But I mean, even with the dilution chart, you can go 1-to-1 if you wanted. So for me, if I'm making a 1-to-1 roller, I'm only doing it if I need to use those oils like all the time, and it just saves me time to do 1-to-1. But if I'm just doing it for myself, I'll just go straight from the bottle.
Okay.
And then for your kids, Tiffany, because you have little ones, how many drops do you put in the bowl you made yourself?
I usually will dilute to my youngest kid. So if I dilute to my youngest kid, then I know I can use it for the older ones as well. So my youngest kid was like 1. So I would just do 1 drop in the entire roller bottle just for her.
For rollers, are you concerned at all with cross contamination, just because you're using other oils as well rolling, or is there some sort of trick you have to avoid getting that other oil on your other rollers?
For me, I'm not too concerned because I keep these rollers specifically for SOC. So I just keep these in this box, and this is my SOC box. Like my kids know, they'll ask me, can I have oils on my back? Or my older daughter asks me, and then she'll go and find this box and bring this box to me just because she already knows. So I'm not too concerned, but you can also, if you really don't want any like cross contamination, you can put on your hand. So you at least have 2 hands that are free of oil and rub it in. And then I've actually found that with the doTERRA ones, the absorption is pretty quick. So if you want to, you can, you rub it in with your hand, and you can like wipe your hand off on a towel if you really wanted to, and then start again. But for me, I'm not super concerned about it. It's up to you, however you want to do it.
Hey, Tiff, can I just offer one other way to do it? So I think you do it opposite on your kids, where you dilute to your youngest kid. And I had a 1 and 3-year-old when the pandemic started. And just for my own peace of mind, I did the basic protocol on them daily for like 2 months. And I actually made roller bottles, so 4 of them. And I diluted to my oldest child, who was 3. So I only put 3 drops of oil and then fill the rest with FCO. And then for my younger daughter, I would just do like 1 quick swipe, for that to be like a lower dilution. And then for my son, I would kind of like roll it all over his back. So that's another way you can do it, especially if you feel like the lower dilution maybe isn't as strong enough for your older child. And same way with the cross contamination. I didn't really feel like that was a big deal. And we did to really just use those rollers for that basic protocol.
Yeah, so it's up to you. There's like so many different ways that can do it. It's what matters to you. So if you really, really want to keep them separate, then I would say you can just, wipe your hand after each, or yeah, I don't know how you would really keep them all from totally mixing, but yeah, it's up to you, whatever you're comfortable with. Grace?
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
What are you seeing? Like, what do you see after you do these applications? Like, what is it that you see happening after these applications? Like, for instance, with your kids, what is it that they're looking for with this application, and what is the benefit that you see?
Okay, so just as an example, there's this one time that I got like 20 or 30 mosquito bites, like all over my legs. Like, and 20 or 30 mosquito bites, you almost look like you got chicken pox or mumps, or I don't know. It was crazy. It was like nasty all over my legs. And it was so like disturbing. I think I felt so violated by these mosquitoes. Anyway, so I decided to do the Symphony of the Cells, because normally I would take my immunity roller and I just, roll around 1 mosquito bite. And actually that takes care of it for the most part. But because I had so many, I was going all over my legs. And so I just decided to do the ID application all over my legs. And I probably did it maybe twice that first day. And then by the next day, they were already like faded and almost gone. And I didn't even notice how itchy they were. So that was something like right away that I could see really quickly that it was helping. So then when my husband, because when he gets bites, he swells like crazy. So I would do it for him as well. And I noticed that there was some that, I didn't know that he had, and I didn't do the protocol on those. And those hung around for much, much longer than the ones that I did. The ones that I did the protocol, it was like gone in a day. So it was that fast. And when you think about like what is a bug bite, it's kind of just like a mini infection, right? So the bug stuck his little like stinger thing in you and then left a little bit of saliva or whatever the bug things, and your body is responding to that. It has a big inflammatory response to that, depending on who you are, like a big swelling, redness, itchy. That's your body saying like, oh, there's a foreign something there. We need to attack it and get rid of it. So that's the reaction that it was having. So using these big gun immunity oils to help really helped with that. Another one that I use on my kids, like when Nina was saying she did the basic protocol, is just to boost their immunity. So sometimes they're just, sick and you don't know what to do about it. Nothing seems to be working. You can try this. I recommend that you try it earlier rather than later. Earlier always helps better, because once you've hit like a certain point, it takes a lot to bring them back down. But if you can try to do it earlier rather than later, it really helps them heal like a lot faster. My husband, I think, had a cold once, and then I just did it for him. And like the next day, he said that everything was drained out and he could breathe better. I did it once for my friend who had, she had carpal tunnel surgery, and it was super sensitive. And she was doing like all the oils like individually, like she was taking the deep blue polys, she was taking the copaiba, she was rolling, doing deep blue rub, and it was still bothering her, because those things are very temporary, right? So you have to keep doing it. But I did the inflammatory on her wrist for a carpal tunnel area, and she said it felt immediately so much better. I've done it on my, oh, go ahead.
The one you did for the kids is the immune one? When they
I
start to not feel well?
It depends on how desperate I am. I'd say if it's like just the start, I might try the intro one, just because I had all the touch rollers for that one, right? So the intro one was just easy because I have the touch rollers already. If I was really desperate, then I would up it and do the infectious disease one for them, because that one has more big gun oils. And then sometimes what I would do, instead of upping it to the infectious disease, is I would just use manuka. So manuka is like, I don't know, 50 times more potent than melaleuca or tea tree. So sometimes I just, I know when I bust out the manuka, it's like I'm stepping up my game a little bit.
Oh, that's good to know. Thank you.
Doesn't Boyd have a lot of stories of how this protocol has helped people?
Yes. So I think there was one I remember about this girl with scoliosis, like really bad scoliosis. And scoliosis was like the curvature of your spine is just off. And so I think he worked with her for maybe a month or so, kind of went through with the mom with how to do I think he did the osteo. So osteo is like the bone one. So he did the osteo application for her like every few days for a month. And he took like before and after pictures, and you could see it like straightening out. But then he said that he came back 6 months later and she had stopped doing it, and it kind of just went back to the way it was. So I'd say consistency is key, especially if you're trying to address something that's super duper chronic. Like she's had this since she was born. So, however old she is 15 years of this getting worse. So I'd say consistency is super key when you're addressing something, especially something chronic. But if it's something maybe like a cold flu thing, I'd say you could probably do it for until you start to feel better. I'd say days. And then you don't have to do it anymore, I guess, unless you want to do it for prevention or something like that.
All right. Any last questions? You can go to the customer page and look underneath the video, and you can post questions there, and I'll send them off to Tiffany. I heard someone.
I'm just super grateful. Thank you so much, Tiffany, because this is getting me really excited to dig back into Symphony of the Cells. I've like tiptoed towards it and then backed away. So go back.
Yeah.
It's kind of daunting a little bit when you think about having, to bust out 10 to 12 oils and figuring out which application to do. But I think once you get a system down, like if you create your box, like you decide that you want to do your box, you can just, leave those oils in there, and then it's just easy. So the next time you want to do it, it's already set up. You can just go down the line.
Is that a doTERRA box? I just have to ask.
This was the holiday, like one of the holiday boxes, I think a couple years ago or something like that. It is. I know it. There was one year that they had all the stuff that looked like this, and it was gorgeous. So
You can win this month, Sunday.
Yeah,
it's like that's the same
That's the
box.
same one.
This has a
It's
handle.
really cute.
I know. I love that one too.
okay, I'm in.
Yeah, I do that too. I line them up and put them in there. And sometimes, they have the oil holder that has just a long thing. And so I put them in there like that too. I haven't done it in a while. My young one she's gone. So I don't have anyone who loves it so much, but maybe I'll start doing it again. And you can do it. I have a table too. I got all excited at the beginning, and I got a table, but you can just do it on the bed or something, right?
Mm-hmm. Or the couch.
Or
Usually.
you just put your kids on your lap and do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, on the couch. Yeah.
Any other questions?
Tiffany, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
So I use inflammation protocol for my husband, Gary. And the first oil was frankincense.
Mm-hmm.
And what I typically do is I put a couple drops in my hand and let him breathe it first, and then put it in the back of his neck. But do you recommend to put it in a roller ball and put fractionated oil on it, or which? Because I noticed you were showing one earlier that it's on a roller ball, the frankincense.
I mostly keep this one for my kids. So the rollers are just easier for the kids, less messy, right? Like if I accidentally knock it over, then I'm not too worried about all the oil spilling out. So that's why I have it in the roller. But I say if you're an adult doing for an adult and you don't, or maybe if you're klutzy, then maybe you want to try the roller ball too. But if you're okay just putting it into your hand, or just, even just dropping it onto his back, then you can just do what works for you. I don't think any way is better or not. He just says get the oils however you can, just get them on your body.
Okay.
Yeah. And it is really good quality time with someone to be touching and putting the oils on. And I've undone all the bottles to make it quicker sometimes, but I think I kind of like, it to take a little time and really get it on them. And I think my daughter just really liked that touch. Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you so much. We really appreciate you sharing. And again, if you have any questions, put them on the customer page and we'll get them back to Tiffany.
There is a question on the customer page, Susie.
Oh, okay. Oh.
She just asked what the blend for scoliosis was.
Okay.
Or what protocol?
I'm pretty sure it's osteo. But let me-
Osteo. Okay.
Oh, actually, okay. So on the scoliosis in this white book, it says the chi inflammatory and or neurological application. So yeah, neuro or osteo works too. Also LLV, digestive enzyme complex or cellular complex soft gels. I think that's DDR prime.
Yeah.
I'd say DDR prime is a really good one for scoliosis. 2 to 3 drops of Melissa frankincense marjoram in a capsule 1 to 2 times daily. 3 to 4 drops of helichrysum, birch, copaiba, frankincense, soothing blend, cypress, Siberian fir, wintergreen, or peppermint to area of concern 1 to 2 times daily.
Okay, thank you.
So lots of suggestions. And it doesn't mean you have to do all of them. It's just a lot of suggestions in here.
Is there a hormone one?
Hormone, I'm sure there is.
Kenny's asking for a manly one.
A manly hormone one.
No, I was saying I need a manly box.
Oh, oh. Okay. Let's see.
Okay, Kenny.
There are tons of boxes. I think there are even some on the marketplace for leadership. There's some good boxes on there too. So there are some that are unisex or more manly.
That's funny.
Just say it's your wife's box and then use it.
There you go.
Okay. Well, thank you, Tiffany, for your time. And I think someone's going to go and try and hop on to the Elite Premier training. So we'll see. Well, yeah. Okay. So have a good rest of your morning. And
Susie,
yeah.
do we get a code word?
Oh yeah, code word. Okay. Let's see. What could it be? Let's see. Protocol.
Resign.
Protocol. Okay.
Thank you.
You're
Okay.
welcome.
Bye.
Thanks,
Bye.
everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tiffany.
No problem.
Thank you, Tiffany. Bye.
Bye.